Welcome back to Great North Gaming. It's great to have you here with us today, and it's time to start up a new series here on NHL 26, and we are going to be doing a 3-year fantasy draft challenge. So we're going to have 3 years in a new fantasy draft system. Our goal is to win as many Stanley Cups as possible in those 3 years. We're going for the dynasty. Hopefully we can at least win one. That's the goal. We do have some rules for this series. Rule number 1, we can only trade for players on the trading block. We have to keep at least 2 draft picks per year, and we cannot trade draft picks past year number 3. So let's hop into this, get the rules done here. So we will do fantasy. All right, the team, we're just going to do a random here. I'm going to close my eyes and we will just land on the team we land on here. The Philadelphia Flyers. Okay, let's do Philly. Sounds good to me. Divisions, we're going to leave that the same. Career owner mode is going to be off. Fantasy draft is going to be on. Salary cap is going to be on. Head coach, no. We'll turn off player morale for this one here, and that is all good there. And then rules and settings here. Quick settings, period length 20 minutes, fantasy draft on, authentic cap penalties, we will turn that off. Auto sign free agency off, auto save blah blah, computer trades on, difficulty, we'll put that on superstar. Draft pick ownership, we'll turn that to classic so everyone gets their own draft picks back. Salary cap on. Trade difficulty, we'll put that on hard. Waivers on, blah blah blah. And game advanced settings, blah blah blah. Rotate goalies, sim engine scoring, we're going to leave that on medium, but we're going to put the shot frequency on high, and we'll put the draft class on high as well to make this a little bit more interesting here. So with that all being said here, let's hop into the fantasy draft. I also forgot to mention we are going to turn injuries off for this series. Alrighty, so we're here in the fantasy draft. We drew number 27, but we're going to randomize it 5 times here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're picking number 8. Okay. I didn't really care where we ended. Number 8, that seems good, so we will confirm that. So who went first overall? Quinn Hughes goes first. Connor McDavid second. Cale Makar third. Draisaitl, Kaprizov, Bedard, Pasternak. Okay, so we got a lot of great players here to build our franchise around. So this is 3 years. I think we got to go with Nate McKinnon. I think we got to go with the boy Nate McKinnon. So that's who we're going to draft first overall, Nathan McKinnon here. So let's see who's pick number 2 here. Adam Fox, Josh Morrissey. Yeah, we got to go with Adam Fox. So we got Adam Fox and Nathan McKinnon. Okay, so got our offensive defenseman. We got Josh Morrissey, Ovechkin, Duchesne, Devin Taves. That could be good alongside of... Yeah, let's build this... or Jake Gensel. No, let's go Devin Taves. I want to have a good shutdown defenseman next to Adam Fox. Ovi, I don't really... All right, taking a look who we want to draft next. I don't want to draft Ovi. I want to look at... Yeah, we need a good second-line center or goal scorer. Is there any good potential players back? Because we can take a little bit of a step back to take 2 forward. Matthew Schaefer. That could be really good. I'm going to bet that he's still going to be there. All right, let's look at wingers here. Ovi, Marchand, Jamie Benn, Zach Benson. Need a sniper. All right, so if we're going to build this team for 3 years, I don't want to go after these old guys. All right, let's draft... I'd rather, if those wingers aren't the greatest, Tej I don't want to draft. Overall, Malkin, Kopitar, Hintz, Kadri. I want someone a little bit affordable and a little bit younger. Gabe Velarde, okay. Second pick here, let's go with Rupe Hintz. A good shutdown center there. That should be good. Now, is there any goalies left? Bob, UC Saros, Kemper, Allmark. Let's go UC Saros. Ooh. Logan Thompson. Is there anyone a little bit younger here that would be better? Jeremy Swayman. Oh, I'll wait and try to draft Wallstedt later on. So we need some wingers here. Holloway, Frondell. It's only 76. That's not going to be too good. Musty, Schwartz, Tolvanen. He's a sniper. He can maybe put up some good goals there. Offensive awareness is pretty good. I feel like he'll still be available. Beckett, Seneca. Ooh, this is a tough pick here. Stammer, Kopitar, Denoyer. Who's available on defense still? Can we build just a sick defensive core? Thomas Chabot, Jacob Chikrin. Yeah, let's just build out this defensive core. We can always trade for... We can always make some trades for some forwards here. So let's get Thomas Chabot here. And now, is Chikrin still available? No. What about potential? Reinbacher, Sandine Pellica, Dickinson, Jamie Drysdale. I don't really want another offensive defenseman. Nikishin, he usually gets pretty good. We need some more forwards. That's what we got to be looking at here. Ovi. We'll draft Ovi. We'll see if he goes the next year. Brock Besser, that would be... There we go. Brock Besser, let's bring him in. Maybe he can light it up the next side of McKinnon. Ovi went. Dang it. I really wanted Ovi. Carlson. The Nuge is the third line center. Marchessault. He's a playmaker. He's a... not too crazy about that. Ricard Raquel. Two-way forward. Overall pretty good. Let's go... Yeah, let's go Ricard Raquel here. Oh, and I forgot about Wallstedt. Whew. Is he still available? I doubt it. Levi, George, Kosa. No, Wallstedt's gone. God dang it. Jack Greaves. Shelovs. He doesn't really get too good. I don't want to spend too much here either. Let's go Cam Talbot for this year. And then we can always draft or trade for or draft a goalie here later on. Zuccarello, he's a little old. Stammer, I don't really want that cap space. Patty Kane. I just don't want this to be like a one-year run. Valerie Nikishin, there we go. 30 years old on a good contract there. Seems pretty good. So we got... we could really use something on the left side here. Jamie Ben Drouin. Playmaker. Warren Fogle. That's the guy, Warren Fogle. Let's get him on the team. Alright, now I want to look for a third line center. Claude Giroux. He's a little bit older than what I'm looking for. William Karlsson. I don't really like that cap hit. Adam Lowry. Elias Lindholm, that's a little too much. Ryan Strome, a little much. Is there anyone a little bit younger here? Morgan Geekie. Koktianemi. He could grow, but I can wait on that pick then. So let's go with... let's go with William Karlsson. That would be a good third-line center there. 5.9, a little bit more than what I want to spend. So now let's look at our fourth defenseman here. So we got... can I see all my draft summary? So we got McKinnon, we got Fox on the right, Taves on the left, Shabbat on the left. So we need another righty. Need a right defenseman, that is for sure here. So, not too old. DeMello, he's a righty, good defensively. Gudas, good physically, but he's going to take a lot of penalties. OEL, Susie Shen. Yeah, I like DeMello here. Let's go with him. Alrighty, so our team's starting to shake up here. We need some more help on the left wing here. Taylor Hall, sniper. Is there anyone else here on the left wing that would be better than Taylor Hall? Kuzmenko, sniper. He's kind of an X factor, but not too crazy about that. Kiefer Sherwood. Probably take that a little bit later on here. Let's go with Taylor Hall. I want to fill out this team, at least make it. We want to be competitive here. We might have to make some trades, but that's okay. So we got 3, 5, 8. So we need 4 more forwards and 2 more defensemen here. Radko, we could put on the third line. Jaden Schwartz. Don't really want a sniper there. So we got to fill out that third line, and we got to fill out our bottom pair. I think bringing in Radko Gudas, that'd be great for our third pairing there. So we got Radko. And we still have $7 million here, so we got to be a little bit more cautious here. So defenseman is pretty much worked out, but we got to look at our forward core here. Backlund, I don't like that cap hit. Gustav Nyquist, can we get any younger players here? William Eklund, Berkeley Cadden, Musty. Might be good to draft these guys here, whether they grow or we flip them into bigger assets. I think that might be the move right now. So let's get Berkeley Cadden. Make sure we get some good trading assets on this team so we can build this up a little bit more here. We can take some of these older guys to fill out the bottom later on. William Eklund, or Victor Eklund, sorry, we'll take you as well. Get some medium elite prospects on this team. Alright, so, and can I get a prospect goaltender here, and then we can fill out the rest of the team with Kosa, George. Let's get George there. Okay, so we got prospects in place here, whether we trade them or not, but now it's time to fill out the bottom of our lineup here. Nick Dowd, center grinder, $3 million. That's a lot of cap hit there, so we got to be a little bit more strategic here. So let's look for our fourth line center here. Sam Carrick, grinder, that's the perfect guy there. $1 million. Let's draft Sam Carrick. All right, now we need to look for some more fourth liners here on good deals. Marcus Johansson, two-way forward. 34. Not really crazy about that. Tanner Pearson. Not too crazy. Grigorenko or Garanonis. I like that contract there, so we'll take him, $850. Now let's look for that. So we're all filled out actually on forwards here. So let's take a look at our... we need a lefty here. Luke Shen. Can I get some, like a prospect here? Samuel Bolduc, no. Dumba, no. Okay. Tyler Myers, he's a righty. Luke Shen, we already looked at him. Kulikov, he's a lefty defensive defenseman. Petrie, no, let's go Kulikov there. So we're all taken care of there. So now it's just time to draft some prospects here. So our team is all filled out here. So let's look at some prospects here. Dumas, Sniper, Nyneman, Yanni Nyneman. Let's draft him. Medium top 6. I like that. All right, next round here, looking for more prospects here to fill out this team. Dumas, Farrell. All right, not too many good prospects, so we'll take Dumas there. 70-21 might be something or just be a trading asset there. Still have $1.5 million. Do we draft Brett Burns here as just another vet on the back end? I like our defensive core actually, but I wouldn't mind getting another forward here. Someone makes sense here that fits in our cap. Scott Lawton, there we go, that's the guy. Scott Lawton, 1.5. We have the cap space for it. All right, let's just get a third goaltender here. I think we need a backup because we drafted a young guy, Martin Jones, Matt Murray. Let's Casey DeSmith. Let's go Casey DeSmith. That works for me. Alrighty, here I will take care of the rest of the draft here, just drafting some prospects, and we'll hop to taking a look at our team for year number 1. Alrighty, boys, so we've taken care of the fantasy draft there, just drafted some young prospects at the end of the draft there, just trying to boost our trading potential there. So in the cage we have Cam Talbot and DeSmith there. George is going to go down to the AHL, or yeah, he's going to go play in the AHL, so that's good there. Defensively, we have Adam Fox, Devin Taves, Thomas Chabot, DeMello, Gudas, and Kulikov. So big defensive core there. Not too many prospects down here in the AHL. Maybe we'll sign a couple guys. We got Cale Fleury, we got Bjornfoot, and we have Lassie Thompson. So maybe some prospects here to come up. And then forward core, we got to send down Eklund. And we got to send down Dumas. In the system, we got Scott Lawton that's going to come up. And Yaiman can go down. And we can play Berkeley Catton if we want to here. Thought I drafted enough forwards here, but maybe not. Might be a little rough here for year number 1, but we do have some studs on this team. So first line, let me take care of the lines here, boys, and we'll be right back. Alrighty, boys, so just taking a look at our lines there, we do need another forward here. So I'm going to sign Nick Dowd here to a 1-year deal at 1.2. So that should take care of the fourth line there. So let's go take a look at those lines. Alrighty, boys. So taking a look at the team for year number one, I like our chemistry. So first line's going to be Valerie Nikishin, Nathan McKinnon, Brock Besser. Second line's going to be Ricard Raquel, Rupe Hintz, and William Karlsson. Third line's going to be Taylor Hall, Scott Lawton, and Warren Fogle. Third line's going to be Sam Carrick, Nick Dowd, and Zemus Gergensons. So really good chemistry there, +5 on both of our first lines. Defensively, Taves and Fox, Gudas and Thomas Chabot, Kulikov and DeMello. So good chemistry there, good shutdown guys. Big, mean, tough defensive core there, so that's looking good. Power play is looking like this here. McKinnon, Raquel, Rupe Hintz, Fox, +5s. Karlsson, Nikishin, Fogle, Chabot, Taylor, Hall. And in the cage, we got Cam Talbot and Casey DeSmith. So let's take a look around the NHL. All right, taking a look at the Anaheim Ducks. Matthew Nyes, Tim Stutzel, Demidov, Strome, Zibanejad, McTavish. Oh, he went back to Anaheim. That's pretty cool. Landeskog, Cates. All right, McDonough, Hronik, Severson, Fowler, Provorov. Okay, looking good. Thompson in the cage. All right. Boston, they got Kaprizov, Kent Johnson, Evangelistin. Depth kind of falls off. They must Carlo Dobson. Oh, they got Noah Dobson. That's pretty sweet. And they got Thatcher Demko and Lankinen. They got the Vancouver tandem there. Buffalo, Dorofeyev, Suzuki, DeBrincat. I like that first line. Greenway, Hurdle, Mangiapane. Okay, not... Oh, didn't mean to go there. Defensively, Rowinski, Nemec, Liljegren, Evans. Okay. And Spencer Knight. Calgary, they have Vasilevsky in the cage. Boldy, Pedersen, Toffoli, Wilson, Zaka, McCann, Mantha, Goudreau, Adimone. Okay, Calgary looks like a really good team. I quite like Calgary, so that looks like a good team. Carolina, Ben, Robert Thomas, Svechnikov, Stone, Coleman. Okay, kind of they got a deep offensive core. Hedman and Lundell, Trouba, Pedersen. Good defensive core, and Lukin in the cage. So not a bad team there in Carolina. Chicago, Bjorkstrand, Frost, Rantanen, JT Miller, McLeod, Mercer. Okay, that falls off. Michkov, Faber. Okay, UC Saros, so Chicago didn't do so hot. Colorado, Verhage, Bedard, Timo Meyer, Sagan, Stamkos, Teravainen, Robertson, Rempe, Schmaltz. Okay, Harley, McAvoy, Dylan, Manson. Okay, looking good there. Vidmelka in the cage. Columbus, Nuge, Nietzsche, Reinhardt. That's a pretty nice first line. Depth is pretty good, except for their fourth line. Vlasic, Clark, Schneider, Slipkov. Okay, defensively a little weak. And Dustin Wolf in the cage. Not too shabby there. Dallas, Ovi, McDavid, Sebastian Aho. That's got to be a nasty first line. Connor Garland, Shen, Brady Tkachuk. That's a nasty... Oh, my God. That would be a horrible line to play out against. Kunin, Nelson. Yeah, this team's looking pretty good here. Tanev, Pulock, Hamilton, Spurgeon, Aho. Okay. And Jack Greaves. Okay, I like their offense. Coach Nekdorf in the cage. Gensel, Heischer, Bo Horvat, Tipsov, Kokinemi. Okay. Offensively, but they got Dahlin and Ekblad. That's pretty sweet there. Edmonton, they got Celebrini instead of McDavid. That's all right. Oh, Will Smith is on this team too. They got the San Jose connection there. Sanheim, Keandre Miller. All right. Still don't have a goalie here. They brought back Connor Ingram. Well, the Florida Panthers may be no longer Stanley Cup champions. Barzal, Raymond, Trocheck, it kind of falls off there defensively. Heiskanen, Pesce, Krasinski, okay. They got Jake Ottinger, though. Not too bad there. LA, Eklund, Draisaitl, Lindholm. All right, offense kind of tails off. They got some young guys there. Cooley, Bouchard, okay. And Binner in the net, not too shabby there. Minnesota, Cousins, Byfield, Kempe. Oh, their offense took a real hit there. Yossi Karlsson, Myers, Faravari, Romanoff, and Bodfist. Good defensively, and Connor Hellebuck in the cage. That might carry them there. Swayman to Montreal. That's sacrilege. Kyle Connor, Patrick Laine is their first line center. Clayton Keller, Nick Wall, Leo Carlson, Middlestead. Okay, so they still got a young core here, looking pretty sweet there. Gerard Jones. Okay, not too good on defense, but looking like a good team there. Sorokin in the cage for Nashville. Lafreniere, Connor McMichael, Jonathan Marchessault. Okay, they brought back some former Preds there. Connor Geeky, Pajot, Ridley Gregg, Michelli, Newhook. Okay, kind of falls off. They got Quinn Hughes, though, and Slavin, and Jackson Lacombe, and Jamie Drysdale. That's a pretty sick defensive core with Sorokin. Shesterkin goes to New Jersey with Ehlers, Scheifele, O'Reilly, Krause, Deneau, Marchman. Sorelli on the third line is pretty sweet. Defensively, Theodore, Doughty, Riley, Orslov. Okay. Joseph Wool in the cage for the Islanders. Matthew Tkachuk, Duchesne, Peterka. That's a nasty first line. Depth kind of falls off there. Defensively, Forsling, Parayko. Okay, not too bad of a defensive core there. The New York Rangers, they got Mackenzie Blackwood. Panarin goes back to New York with Marco Rossi there. Offensively, they kind of fall off. Defensively, Lane Hudson and Radish. Right, not looking too hot there. Ottawa, Luke Hughes and Vince Dunn. That's a nice. Gavrikov. Yarmachek, they brought back there. Stankoven, Point, Hyman. Okay, that's a pretty nice first line. Hagel, Perfetti, Luukkonen. That's a nasty top six. And with that defensive core and who they have in the cage, Markstrom. Ottawa could be a good team. Pittsburgh, Anton Lundell, Patra, Kucherov, Holloway, Nemstantonov. Okay, looking pretty good. Ball-Snyder, Bean, Moser, Skinner stays in Pittsburgh. San Jose, Freddie Anderson. They got Genther, Barkov, Kyrou. That's nasty. They got Wyatt Johnson there on the second line. Some good young players here in San Jose. Pionk, Montour. Defensively not so strong. Seattle, Alex Lyon. They got Jesper Wallstedt, though. Jason Robertson, Velarde, Pasternak, Niedermeyer, Larkin, Cooley. Okay, I like that top six. Brodin, Broberg, defensively a little bit weak. St. Louis, Sanderson, Lindholm, Susie, Shea, Ekman, Larson, Mikula. That's a Jesper Bratt, Kopitar, Kane, Foligno, Dubois, Moore. Okay, it looks like a pretty solid team all around here. Gustafson in the cage. St. Louis could be pretty good. Tampa, Zuccarello, Malkin, Marner, Giroux, Cooley, Marchand. Okay, good top six there. Uyghur, Ekholm, Letang, Sergachev, Nurse, and Limbin, and Allmark in the cage. Not too shabby. Toronto, they brought back Anthony Stolars. Barbashev, Jack Eichel, Cole Caulfield, Capo Caco, Connor Zary, Slavkovsky, Parker Pelly, Wright. Okay. Defensively, Chikrin, Ferraro, Sandin. Okay. Utah, they got Bobrovsky in the cage. DeBrusque, Crosby, Michikov. Okay. Batherson, Beniers, Howden, Dickinson, Cotter, Radish. Middleton, Anderson, Byram, Spence. Not too bad there. Bobrovsky already looked at. Vancouver, they got Dostal and Hofer, Buchnevich, Tage Thompson, William Nylander. That's pretty sweet. Chinikov, Granlund, Hayton, Rasmussen. Okay, that kind of falls off there. Defensively, Matheson and Morrissey. Siegenthaler. Okay, pretty good team there. Vegas, Darcy Kemper. They got Tuck, Monahan, Jarvis, Nyquist, Fantelli, Kane. Nick Paul. Okay, pretty good offense. Wallman, Makar, Zadorov, Walker. Okay, pretty sweet team there. In Washington, Joey Decord in the cage. They got Bertuzzi, Jack Hughes, Konechny. Offense kind of falls off there. Hanifin, Cernak, Mickey Anderson, and Joey Decord. And lastly, the Winnipeg Jets. They got Samuel Montembeault, Philip Forsberg, Austin Matthews, Kevin Fiala. That's pretty nice. Kadri, Strome, Huberdeau. Kind of falls off there. Pellick, Eric Carlson. Yeah, pretty sweet team here in Winnipeg. So that is the new look NHL here for our Fantasy Draft Challenge. So let me know your thoughts down in the series. If we should make any moves off the get-go, we can quickly go through the trading block here. I don't know if there's anyone going to be available yet. Brandon Carlo, Anders Lee, Coop, White Cloud. Probably just a bunch of depth guys. Nick Schmaltz, okay, if we want to bring in some guys there. Nick Waugh. Yeah, not too many players available here. Boone Jenner, Vince Dunn. If we want to add to our defensive core, maybe we could look to do that. Barbashev from Toronto. If we wanted to add to our forward core, that wouldn't be too bad as well. So mostly depth guys available here to start off, but we can look at making trades at the trade deadline here. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, and if you like this video, please leave a like on the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll be back next time with year number 1 for the Philadelphia Flyers Fantasy Draft Challenge. Peace.